What's up, movie lovers? It's your girl Rossie, and I'm back with another show. Tonight, though, I have someone really special with me. This woman has done a lot for me, and I couldn't wait to get her on the show. This is another show, guys, that I've been waiting to do for a while now. Her name is Micha Decell, and we will talk to her in just a second. So let's get the show started, you guys. What's up?
Hey, hey, Rossie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. You look beautiful as
Thank
always.
you. Thank you. Same to you.
Thank-
Okay, guys. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of history, and then we'll talk to Misha. So here's the deal. There is this film festival that happens in Sacramento every year. It's called A Place Called Sac, and it's your top 10 best writers. Like, a lot of people submit short films that they have written, and only 10 get chosen. So Misha got chosen last year. 2021 was it
22.
22. Okay, so it was 2022. She gets picked. She has this fabulous script. She sends it to me. I auditioned for her, and I love the script. And so she gave me my first lead here in Sacramento. So that's how we go back. All right. So she means a lot to me. Come to find out, she's a writer, she's a producer, she's an actress, she's a director. She does it all. So, Misha, tell them a little bit
Hey.
about you, please.
Well, I'm just a Northern California girl, born and raised up in the Bay Area, north of the Carquinez Bridge, I should say.
Mhm.
And, just always been creative, always been a writer, writing poems and songs and things like that when I was a little girl. I'm my only child. So,
Oh,
I spent a lot of time with my own imagination. So I
okay.
think that played a part in it. But yeah, in high school, just I was a MC in high
Okay.
school, so writing raps and poems and things like that, and fell in love with theater in high school.
Mhm.
Got the lead in my 12th grade drama class. I played the lead in Zoom In and the Sign, the mother,
Okay. Okay.
and just fell in love with it. I mean, not really. I always knew that I would do, something creative, not
Okay.
even about making it big, just expression, just
Okay.
self-expression.
Okay.
And so a little later on in my early 20s, I got into broadcasting and radio. I
Oh,
interned up here for a couple of years at a radio station in Sacramento, and fell in love with behind the scenes, broadcasting.
okay.
Took film and television classes, and wasn't really excited or interested in being in front of the camera, just wanting to know how to make things work,
Okay. Okay.
And so did that for a couple of years, and then life happened. I never could make enough money in radio.
Okay.
Had the opportunity, but I had the day job at the hospital that was paying much more, and I'm practical, so
Okay.
I figured, yeah, I kept working, but always, still writing and creating. And fast forward to 2022,
Right.
place called Sacramento screenplay competition. I actually had a full length feature film that I had been working on for, it had to be 8 to 10 years. I mean, it's how I learned how
Wow.
to screenplay, how to write, right?
Okay. Okay.
The story started when Obama got in office. So that was how long ago it
Okay.
was.
Okay.
And I learned, rewriting that, learning the structure and story, character.
Okay.
Um, Decided that, okay, I want to shoot this thing. I had entered 48-hour film
Right.
festival,
Right.
Sacramento,
Right.
um, during the COVID. Shot it in the house because you could only shoot with people in your family and things like that. So yeah, so I would do little things like that, and decided, well, let me tailor this script down into something that I can shoot, you
Okay.
know. And so I did that because the story was based on a couple going to Washington, D.C. and looking at the sites. And so I said, well, Sacramento is a capital city. Let me,
Right.
tailor it into that since it had a little political view to it. So I did that, entered it into the screenplay competition, got a call.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to go back just a little bit. So, okay, so when you were in high school, was it acting first, or was it like what you were writing when you were young? So, okay, when did you write your first poem,
Screenplay?
or screenplay?
That wasn't until my 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, late 20s, probably early 30s. Yeah,
Okay.
during high school, that was songs and poetry.
Okay. Did you know then that you wanted to be a screenwriter, or were you still just dabbling in just the arts period?
Just dabbling in the arts period. I really decided to see if I could write when I saw the Black rom-com movies like Love and Basketball and Love Jones and Brown Sugar. And, seeing those stories, seeing us like that, I was like, yeah, I could write a movie like that. These seem like people, I know I could write something. So, yeah.
Okay. So with a place called Sacramento, guys, again, it's a film festival here that happens every year. Okay, so with that, and when you submitted the film, that the script that I got, and I know we revised it, what was it, a few times, because you decided to do with a place called Sacramento. Here's the deal: is it has to be a 10-minute film. She can't go over 10 minutes. We have to be in and out. But the problem with that is they own your film. So what Micha did was she wrote two different versions of the film, one for a place called Sac, and then one a feature-length film. You were directing on that one. Was that the first time that you directed?
Yes. It's not quite a feature. It's just maybe this film's place called Sacramento film was about 7 minutes.
Okay.
This one might be about 15, 20.
Okay.
So it's still a short film, but it's, longer, more detailed. You get character development. I mean, you guys told the story in the short film, so you'll get some character development in the longer version.
Right.
And yes, it was my first time directing. And I'm going to be honest with you, people, I'm just transparent. It is what it is. For me, there's really not too much hidden as far as my feelings towards how I feel about things that I do.
Right.
I don't like directing.
You didn't like it?
No, not that I wouldn't do it again. I would do it again later after I worked on a film with somebody and I watched them do it. Creating the world, writing the character. That's what I'm not an Ava DuVernay. I'm like a Shonda Rhimes or a Courtney Kemp. I just want to get that story structure together. The producing part, finding the locations, working out the deals, paying the. I mean that I analytical mind. That's fine. I don't mind producing, writing, but directing, I'm gonna push that out further. Get a good script written, a good story. Sold, and then let somebody who is iconic for directing bring it to life.
Well, I have to say that I was on that set and she was directing. She produced, she directed, she did a lot, she wrote. So she had many different hats that she played. But to us, you did a good job. Like, I mean, you did a really good job. I figured maybe you would do it again with the director, because I had a feeling it was your first time, but the way that you just handled things was really good. And it was a professional set, and I really appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
How do you go about writing? Is it something you do at the nighttime when everyone's asleep? Like, what's your process for writing?
Exactly. It's usually in the middle of the night. As of lately, I've been waking up at the witching hours between 3 and 4.
Right.
And got to go to work, so I don't want to go back to sleep. So that's when I've been getting my writing done here of lately. Prior to that, anytime, the writer's block can be real, especially when you have other things going on in life, other demands, other people demanding your time, so getting it in. And being a writer, you know, is different than being maybe an actress or a musician or
Okay.
performer, because I'm not really the promoter type.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
there's people
Okay.
to do that. You know, there are
Right. Right.
departments for that, right?
Right. Right.
But the writing is kind of solitude, you know. So people will, if you don't have anything out there, people think you're not doing nothing. You know what I'm
Right. Oh
saying? That
yeah.
you're not
Yes. Very true.
working.
Very true.
You know, and
Yes.
especially on a piece like what I wrote having to do with the story. We talk about that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But it was historical, so there I wanted to research as much as I could, you know, and I want to write a feature-length film on that story. So I'm still,
Okay.
you know, researching, and all of that happens in the back room, you know.
Right.
So people, you know, don't see your progress until it's, you know, out there on the
Right.
screen, and you know,
Right.
I don't mind
So
being underestimated.
let's talk about Hidden in Plain Sight is the film
Mhm,
that Misha wrote, directed, produced 2022, a short film co-starring Buddy Lee, starring Rossie McCree, your girl here. And
mhm.
Misha, tell them about that story because that was a really good story. I felt we had one of the best stories. You want to tell them a little bit about what that story is about?
Sure. It's about Archie Lee. He was a 18 or 19-year-old slave, for lack of a better word. I know we
Right,
have more politically correct terms these days, but that's what it was, that was brought
right.
here to California by his owner. Um, but California is a free state,
Yeah,
right?
California Free State, right. Yeah,
That was Rossie's line in the
yeah.
movie. But,
California's a free state. Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, but the deal was that because California had just come into the union and there was all this political ruckus about the power between free and slave states, um, the fugitive slave law came into effect where if you, well, you could, a slave owner could bring the slave to California as long as they didn't plan to set up residency and live
Right,
here.
right,
So while they were doing business here and staying here, you
right,
know, no,
right,
however long,
right,
they could come here. And the slaves could not run here and be free because the fugitive slave law,
right.
um, they would have to be returned. So, um, long story short, there were free black settlers here in California. There was a hotel in downtown Sacramento
Right.
owned by two black settlers.
Yes.
And they helped Archie, that community helped Archie raise money to hire lawyers to sue for his freedom. And
Right.
it went to the Supreme Court and he was freed eventually.
Absolutely, he was. It was an amazing story. I mean, in the history of it, I'm not from Sacramento. I've been here for 9 years, but I'm not from Sacramento, so I never knew about the house that was on. I forget the name of the house, but it was on K Street.
Yeah, the Hackett
Oh God,
House.
the Hackett House. That's right.
Mhm.
And so, guys, hearing about the story, and then the character I play, she's a social media star, but she's very liberal in her thinking that she's what she grew up on, so everything to her is it's liberal, that's it. And she goes through this change, meeting people and hearing about Archie Lee and the Hackett House and all that. She goes through this total change from the beginning of the film to the end of the film. So it was really good. You guys can watch that online, it's up right now. Let's see, what other projects are you working on now, though? I mean, do you write many different, do you have like many different projects going on at once, or do you focus on one, finish it? How do you do that?
Well, I have to. There are a couple of stories that I want to do, but I am working on a scripted series that I have an idea for right now. Just thinking about, you know, building, you know, the characters, taking, you know, some life experiences. Of course, that's where
Right.
the inspiration comes from. You know, the names will be changed to protect the
Okay.
innocent, but but you know, just you know, life lessons that I think,
Right.
you know, this medium is designed to tug at the heartstrings and get them across.
Right.
So I'm working on something like that, about a family of women. Um, then again, the Archie Lee story, the full story, I'm researching it because I
Really?
do want to write a feature-length film on that.
That would
So
be,
I've been, library, book diving, getting as much information so that I
right.
could build that character.
Right.
You and I talked about a script
Yes.
possibility, and that is
Yes.
something that I'm seriously considering.
Okay.
And so hopefully, that story could come to life
That
as
would
well.
be awesome. Misha and I, we were hanging out because our co-star Buddy Lee is very well known here in
Buddy
Sacramento.
Raymond.
Buddy,
Let me say his
Buddy,
name
I'm
right.
sorry, not Buddy Lee.
Buddy
Buddy
Raymond.
Raymond. Sorry,
Mhm,
sorry.
mhm,
Yeah, Buddy, ENT. Anyways, sorry.
You got
Anyways,
Archie Lee and Buddy.
I'm thinking Archie Lee, Buddy Lee. Anyway, anyway, so he's pretty big, and we were out at one of his comedy shows, and I had always thought about a nice love story, a black love story that would be awesome. And since she writes, I'm like, you got to do something like that. So it's nice to hear that you are thinking about,
Mhm,
writing that. But back to Archie Lee, us doing a film, I think that'd be awesome to know more about Archie Lee. You know what I
mhm,
mean? His life, how he came about from where he came to California. I think that'd be really interesting because just knowing the little bit about him and the freedom that he got once he came here and escaped. Yeah, I
mhm.
think that'd be an interesting story to tell. What I want to know is like, how has your style changed over the years, your writing style?
Well, of course, when you start out, it's like you're mimicking other people, right?
Right.
And that's how you learn.
Okay.
So it started out. I'm sure, if I was to create any of those movies, it would be cheesy, but started out more about. And I was listening to an interview from Courtney Kemp the other day, and she was talking about, the story, and when you want the character to do something, develop the character first
Okay.
and why he's going to do that thing, not center, the action, excuse me, around the thing that you want him to do. So
Right.
that, learning little tips like that has helped me develop the character, to really develop the character instead of just trying to have all of these, scenarios play
Okay.
out.
Okay. Who were your influences? Did you have any your early influences, like as far as actors or writers? Like who influenced you? Do you have any?
Um, yeah, with Bynum, the writer and director of Woman King.
Okay, okay,
She was that was yeah, she was loving basketball was the reason why I wanted to start writing
okay,
films.
okay,
Yeah, so Gina with Bible, yeah, she, yeah. Um,
okay.
um, wow. I want to the writer of Girlfriends. I can't think of her name.
I
Akil.
know, I know who you're talking about. Yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
she's a big inspiration of mine. I even like Tyler Perry's Hustle. People talk about
Yeah, I know we do.
people
I
talk about
know.
his films, but I mean, he did it from the ground up. I
Right,
mean, really
right,
from nothing to something. So you
right,
gotta respect and admire that. Yeah, those would be my top.
right. I think with Tyler Perry, when he first started coming out, I mean, let's admit it, everyone wanted to see the films. We all loved the films. It was something different. It was funny. The Medea characters, just everything he did. I
Mhm,
think I've seen almost everything that he did. The Diary of a Mad Black Woman, when that
mhm,
came out. So when he had his stuff out, it was stuff that people films that they hadn't seen, and for him to have the Medea and then the whole Black family reunion, which each of the Medeas that came out, I remember being really excited about him. And just every time a movie came out, I know we were all going, renting the
mhm,
movies and all that. So Tyler, we, like you say, we made joke about him, but honestly, when he came out, it was something different. We hadn't seen
yeah,
that. And for someone to go from homelessness to building his own studio in
exactly.
Atlanta was amazing, so he's still someone to look up to, personally.
Mhm.
Let's see. I have so many questions I wanted to ask you. What's your dream project?
My dream project is I like musicals. I
Okay.
like Grease,
Yes, yes. Oh, I
and
love Greece. Yes.
of course, The Wiz,
Yep.
School Days. Um, a musical
Okay.
is
Okay.
something that I love. The Carmen that Mos Def and Beyonce did. I love that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that I would like to work my way up to.
Okay. Speaking of Carmen, did you see the original one? Did you
Mhm.
like the Dorothy Dandridge and all? Okay.
Oh yes,
So
absolutely.
tell me about old Hollywood, like Lena Horne. Were you into old Hollywood?
Oh yes. One of my favorite movies is Gone with the Wind. I
Oh
love Gone
my
with the
gosh.
Wind.
They make us so shame, guys, that we can't mention that. Gone with
Right.
the Wind, I remember seeing it so many times. I remember seeing it in high school for the first time, and I got the DVD, and it was like 3 CDs. Or the thing about, here's my issue: there are Black actors that opened up the door for all of us. Why would we ban that and bury that? Why would we feel sorry for them?
Exactly.
Why we were able to see them on screen? They are working actors, and a lot of them, the gentleman that played really slow and dumb, whatever, he's not like that. He's a very articulate man, very intelligent man. He played that part. Mammy, she was very intelligent. She was not who she played on TV, but at that time they had to grab the roles that they can get, and those were the roles. And to even get a part in a film like that, regardless of what we had to play, why would we do that to them?
Right.
That's
Right. Why,
wrong.
how do you can't forget them. You have to honor them or we won't be
Absolutely.
successful is how I feel about it. I have to, yeah, they paved the way. They definitely paved the way. So
Right. I
we're
hate,
standing on their shoulders.
yeah, and I hate that they've buried that, because you're missing a lot of actresses and actors at that time that did everything to get into those films, and now the kids of today will never know that, Gone with the Wind and the
Right.
actors in Gone with the Wind. It's nothing to
Right.
feel ashamed of, or to feel sorry for them.
Right.
It's not. They were doing exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to be in the entertainment industry, and they wanted to make things better for us guys. So,
Yes.
I'm
Absolutely.
happy that you brought that up, because
Mhm.
I don't feel like it's like we can bring up Gone with the Wind. And
Yeah.
I even watched
Yeah.
behind the scenes of Gone with the Wind. I mean, the
Yeah, me
book.
too. I mean,
Yeah, it
if
was
you're into
amazing.
film, I mean, for that day, those studios, that
Yes.
cinematography, you have to study that. You
Yeah,
have to study that.
exactly. Exactly. So they're missing a lot. Okay, as far as acting, I know you want to be behind scene, but will you act again? I mean, is that something that you'll do, or was that just something you did and hidden in plain sight because you were just doing it, filling a part?
Well, I actually um, had two roles in local productions, local Sacramento productions.
Okay.
Fight for Your Life was one
Right. I remember that
film that
way back.
was filmed here. I was a extra or a street person in
Okay.
that. And in another PCS film in 2019, that was before the pandemic, Les
Right.
Feldman wrote a movie called By Any Other Name, and I was the lead in that. So that
Really?
was my first lead, yes. And that was a great experience. And it was about another historical situation here in Sacramento where a school was renamed. I believe it's the Rosa Parks Middle School was renamed um, because a teacher there fought to get it renamed because she found out that the person it was named after was an intricate part in the Holocaust.
Okay.
Nazi rule, or I'm not too abreast of that story, but I know
Okay.
that it was based on a local teacher who got the school changed, name changed. So yeah, that was my first lead acting role in a film, and
Okay.
I that's where I saw a first short film being shot and wanted to try it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, but acting, I don't know. I may, I'll get in and play a part in one of my
Okay.
films if I need to, just like Tyler Perry,
I was just gonna
do a
say
little walk off, have a
Stephen
little
King,
cameo.
all of
Yeah, sure, why
M.
not?
Night.
Why not? But will I be going auditioning for anything? I'm not sure.
Okay. What kind of films do you like? Like in you personally, what do you watch?
I like action movies.
Yeah,
I like
okay.
anything action. I shame to say, I like the shoot 'em up, bang bang, but
Hell yeah.
not the gang banging necessarily, but
Okay, okay,
the explosions, the Fast and
okay,
Furious,
okay,
the kidnap my daughter, let me go get her, the Secret Spy, the Double Spy. I like those kind of
okay. So you're not watching Menace to Society?
Oh yeah, yeah, all the
Because that
old
was
school
good.
favorites.
That was dope. That was dope.
Yeah,
I'm gonna review that,
absolutely.
by the way. That was really good.
Yeah, but I haven't seen a movie lately that compares to those along
Yeah,
those
no,
genres.
no, I have
So
not.
I don't have a favorite in that genre right now.
Right, right. No, I haven't seen. I think, yeah, it's been since the Menace to Society. I think that was
Hmm.
and the Boys in the Hood when they stopped that.
Hmm.
But I remember that one was just amazing because I love the Scarfaces and I love
Hmm.
those type of movies and I love the Boys in the Hood. And when Menace came out, just the acting in that alone, the writing in that was just an
Yeah,
amazing film. And you take something away from it. It's not just a
right.
bang bang shoot 'em up. You definitely get
Exactly.
something from it. So they did a great job, and the soundtrack was just
Yes.
off the hook. I mean, I still have that soundtrack. I just want to mention that, and I'm gonna review that, guys. I definitely want to review that.
Mhm.
What has been your biggest accomplishments so far?
My biggest accomplishment so far would have been writing, producing, and directing, that short film.
Right,
And it was amazing, bringing that to life. And it
right,
let me know that I can do it.
right,
It was my first time, I made some mistakes, learned a few things, but
right,
I can do it. So
right,
I'll be prepared, for the next level, for the
right.
next time. Yeah, and it'll just get better.
Where do you have a dream place that you'd like to shoot next time? I mean, would you go to the Bay Area or
Hmm.
like
Yes.
South LA?
Actually, yes. That is what is one of my goals is to showcase Northern California.
Okay,
Northern California, there's no place, I ride up and down LA 80. There's nothing like those
right,
rolling hills in
right,
California. I
right.
just, I love it. I've never lived anywhere else. I visited a lot of places across the country,
Okay.
but I just couldn't imagine living anywhere else. So,
Okay.
to showcase the Bay Area, it doesn't really get, showcased like that
Okay.
in the film. So that I'd love to do that.
Okay. Okay. Um, how do you manage your career with your personal life? How do you juggle both? Because I know that you tend to be really busy a lot. How do you manage that?
You just I always said, once I reached a certain age, um, I'm just going to do it.
Right?
If nobody watches it but me, if I just put in, cast it to my LG TV and watch it here in my living room, I'm going to do it because it's something that I love to do. You
Okay.
know, um, Same thing I was telling my son, and my son actually played the lead Archie Lee in the
You sure
movie.
did. Yes,
That
he did.
experience was great because I had my whole family there. My mother was there,
Oh,
my
that's
father was
right.
in the movie, so
Right.
it was a great experience. But I was just telling him the other day we were at his birthday, and he was a star athlete in high school basketball, loved basketball. He actually was an action capture model for what is it? The
It was one of the
2K
yeah,
2K basketball.
right, right,
It was like 17. So if some of you guys are playing with his basketball
right.
moves, and he went to college, played basketball, but the NBA dream, didn't work
Okay.
out. Some things got away, but he had he tried out for a couple of the D leagues and things like that. And he, gave up after a while. I wouldn't, he's still athletic, still,
Right.
plays basketball, but and he coaches kids. And Yeah, I was just telling the other day because
That's awesome.
didn't tell me about the last time that he had got invited to a D League tryout, and he was like, I didn't go. I was like, what do you mean? Why didn't you go? And he was like, well,
Right.
I just felt like I had went to so many of them. I was like, well, come on.
Yes.
I mean, I would treat it like a vacation. It's something
Right.
that I love to do. I'm
Right.
just going to go do it,
Right.
regardless, of what happens. And so that's
Right.
how I feel about this thing. I'm just going to do it because it brings me joy, and we'll
Right.
see what happens.
Right. Let's see. How do you define success as a writer and artist?
Writing a story that people can relate to and that people can get a message from. Not trying to beat you over the head with my perspective
Right.
or my point of view,
Right.
but there are stories out here about real people. There are stories, characters that I can create based on,
Right.
like I said, experiences of myself or other people, or the way that I would imagine an experience to play out. But I feel like there should be some nugget that you can take home. And in the most movies, that that I watch, there is that, in
Right.
all
Right.
genres.
Right.
Um, so I think that this medium that we're in is special for that reason. Um, it's universal. The human story
Yeah.
is a universal story. And as long as my intention is not to demean or degrade any particular group of people,
Right.
or to push to push any agenda, but
Right.
just telling human stories, so that, and I like the true stories. I think I will definitely always write stories about things that happened in history, in US American history,
Right.
because there are so many stories out there that haven't been told.
Right.
Like, we know
Absolutely.
all the big tales,
Yes.
the folklore,
Yes.
but there are stories about the people that made those things happen in the background. Like the story about the Hidden Figures. That was
Right.
amazing to me when that, movie
Right.
came out. There are
Never knew.
stories like that, hundreds of them, about
Right.
how this nation came to be and the people
Right.
that did it just because it's what needed to be done.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
somebody needs to tell those stories.
Yeah. When Hidden Figures came out, I think I don't think I was the only one. I didn't know. I didn't
Hmm.
know that there were three Black women that worked at NASA and were had the brains that they had and was mathematically smart and basically was very important to that project. I
Hmm.
didn't know
Right.
that until that came out. So like you said, and those are women that you haven't heard of since then. And
Mhm.
when you found out about them, you didn't really, I don't remember it getting a lot of attention. I do
Mhm.
remember though, there was this one channel that went and told the stories of the original women, and you
Mhm.
got to see real pictures, but you didn't know about that because, like you said, they're always talking about. We learn about the people that made it big in history. You don't
Right.
hear about people like the three of those women that did something in history that you didn't know.
Right.
So I think that'd be really interesting because you don't have a lot of storytelling right now. That's just
Mhm.
Joe Blow from down the street that actually did something big, but because he didn't come from this money or wasn't well known, you don't know about it. And it could be
Right.
things that are really important. So
Right.
I do think that would be very interesting. Let's see. I think I'm gonna ask you one more question, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and that's what I want to ask you. What are your least favorite parts of being a professional writer, producer? Like, do you have any?
Um, the right, like I said, for the writer's block is real.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes when you
I
have
didn't know that.
life going on. So, um, the writing and the creating, it takes time. I could be driving down the highway and, come up with ideas and things like that. But to actually craft the character that makes sense. Like I said,
Right.
that's not, corny. That's not just saying words for no reason, that's driven by something that you
Right.
want to see them accomplish. That takes a little time. So the least, but it's the thing that gets me going as a writer. That's what I do. That's what I am. So there's love and hate in that, and
Right.
just the the money part.
Okay.
The
Okay.
fact that to make a great movie, cause now you people can shoot movies on their phones right now. I've done
Right.
that
Right.
before
Yes.
too.
Yes.
But to get that studio quality, location,
Yeah.
just knowing that it takes so much, and that the industry is not, I would say, closed off, but there's still, hurdles. You got to know the right
Yes.
person, to get
Yes.
script
Yes.
to the right people and those things
Yes.
like that. That barrier to wanting to create um, is something, but that's a part of the hustle too. So you
Right.
can't
Right.
hate the game. You just got to get in and play it,
Absolutely.
and create a good product, and get out there and meet the right people to get it in
Right.
the right hands. And I'm not that mixy. I'm kind of introverted so
Okay.
people that know me that are in my circle, like you and
Right.
we hit it off
Right.
completely.
Oh gosh.
And
Yeah.
that that's how it is. I hit it off with those people, and those people you know I usually become solid with. But as far as
Right.
just being mixy with a lot of
Right.
people, I'm just not that way. And that's kind of
I
how
feel
you
you.
got to be in that industry. So, but that's self-awareness and
Right.
growth and development.
Right.
And, we're always evolving.
Right.
So all of those things, keep you motivated to keep doing it.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with you. I feel the same way. It's hard to network because
Hmm.
I'm kind of to myself and
Hmm.
don't talk a lot. I can be a little shy, but then when you get out there and you have to do it, like you said, in this industry, you have to do it if you want to take it a step further. You have to get out. You have to network a little bit.
Yeah.
But why don't you tell everyone what do you have going on? What can we expect from you, Micha?
Well, right now, I have taken a little step back from screenplay writing
Okay.
and decided to write a book of affirmations. So I'm hoping to have it'll be an ebook that I will publish and um, put out over Instagram. There will link. I have a affirmations, high vibration Instagram page called Higher Love. It's higher HIGERL .O.V.E, which is basically lifting our vibrational energy higher. So 222. So it's Higher Love 222. And that's where I'll be promoting the book of affirmations. I'm just trying to stay motivated and positive, in this world, trying to spread some good vibes over social media. Even in the business that we're in, there's so much competition,
Yes.
about looks and
Yes.
persona and
Right.
all of these things. And, just to kind of encourage people to go within and kind of get that confidence from
Yes.
inside,
Right.
and let people like you,
Right.
for
Right.
you.
Right.
um, we can acting on the screen is, that's what we do. But
Right.
in real life, we hope that you can find a way to be yourself.
Right. Absolutely. Make sure you send me that
Okay.
so that I can share that as well. Okay.
Sure.
It just send it to me so I can share it as well.
Hmm.
Guys, that's our interview tonight. Micha will be back. I hope you become a friend of the channel. Anytime that
Oh,
you have a
absolutely.
project, please hit me up. I'll get you on the show. We will do that. And I'll have to bring you out to the other show that I have. And we go to the
Absolutely.
studio on that one. So I have to invite you out there. Um, but guys, this is Micha Decell. She's a screenwriter. She's a writer. She's a producer. She's an actress. I wanted to say like triple threat, but she's beyond that. So, so you know, just to let you guys know, she will be back. We do a lot of movie reviews here. If you ever want to sit, if there's a movie that you want to review, I'd love to sit with you, invite you back to do movie reviews. Is there a podcast? Is there somewhere people can find you, Micha? And it will be in the links, guys.
You can find me at Instagram at Amazon Queen Pro. That's my production company, Amazon Queen Productions. So it's Amazon with 2 Z's, AMOZZON, Queen and Pro on Instagram. And again, higher love with the dots between the letters of the word love, 222 on Instagram.
Guys, I will make sure I get that. Micha will send me that. I will also add that in the description of the videos when we upload it. Also to the listeners out there, my podcast listeners, I love you guys so much. Thank you. We've hit over 11,000 plus downloads. So I'm liking that you guys are enjoying our content. Don't forget to go check out A-Town Alex Haynes on Instagram. Also, John DeGregorio, John, sorry, I always do this. He's the owner of Movie Lovers Unite channel. You can catch him and catch the 3 of us. We're going to do a Goonies review on the 29th of this month. So you'll be able to see the original 3 Movie Lovers Unite together. Let's see. Wednesday, the 24th, I'll be going live with Joshua Diggins. He's going to sit with me. We're going to go through episode 3 of The Sandman on Netflix. You guys go ahead and catch up. I haven't gone beyond that. I'm not going to grind it out. I'll wait with you guys. And I'm going to have other guests join me thereafter. We also have coming up in June 7th. I know you guys have been seeing it on Instagram. We have Big V from the Nappy Roots. He's going to come and I'm going to interview him. Yes. He has some new stuff out. We're going to talk with him and hear a little bit about the Nappy Roots, but hear about what Big V has going on right now. So look forward to that, June 7th. Also, I have Kristen Duff. She's a young actress. She did a film called Purse with Eric Roberts. I'll be interviewing her towards the mid to end of June. I'll send all that out to you guys. And I'll be on Frito's show. Frito sat with me last week. We did a video game show. I'll be with him and Trust next week at 7 o'clock on that Wednesday night. It's going to be pre-recorded. So as soon as it comes out, you guys will be able to see that. We're going to talk Call of Duty. And that's about it, guys. Thank you for joining us. Please, guys, don't forget, take your phones out and go to Rossie Talks on YouTube and subscribe, like, and please share, guys, because I'm trying to build that YouTube channel. Anyways, that's all. Thank you, guys. Be good to each other. Have a good week. And I will see you guys Wednesday, the 24th. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Let me get my life together. Micha, don't leave. Okay. Just stay there.
Okay.
And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.